Welcome, welcome, welcome. So excited to be with you today, all of our subscribers and all of those that watch that haven't subscribed yet. Today's video, if you're wanting to work buyers more, you're wanting to learn a couple nuggets about how to make your buyer real estate agent processes and systems a little more streamlined. That's what today's video is all about. So if you're wondering how to pick up buyers, if you're wondering how to successfully work a buyer through the showings and through the transaction process. And if you're wondering how to successfully close a buyer so that you're able to get 5-star reviews and they're happy at closing, because if everyone's not happy at closing, the real estate agents didn't do their jobs right. There's no such thing as a difficult customer. There's just objections that weren't handled. There's just objections. You know what? Let me take that back. There are such things as difficult customers. There are. I'm not gonna lie to you, but you can handle objections. You can be professional. You can manage your time, and you can manage how people speak to you as a real estate professional. And in this video, we're gonna go over the macro view, the 1,000 feet in the air, looking down at the buyer process. That's what we're gonna go over. So let me shut this door real quick. Sorry, I accidentally left that door open. Okay, so let me do a quick audio check real quick. That's funny. Real quick, real quick. I can't believe I just said that 5 times. Okay. I can't believe I just. Perfect. Audio is coming through. That's what today's video is about. So let me give you an introduction real quick. If you're new to the channel, you don't already know who I am. My name's Josh Barnett. I'm a real estate agent or eXp Realty, and this channel is all about helping real estate agents get their systems better and become more successful at any level, whether that's team leaders, broker owners, power agents, or new agents. I help agents take their business to the next level over here at eXp Realty. And that's what this channel is all about. If you'd like to know more about eXp Realty, feel free to give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, or schedule a Zoom or Google Meet down below. I'd love to chat with you about eXp Realty and how it can help your business taking it to the next level. So with that said, let's switch over to the slide deck that I made. I love slide decks. So let me get this added real quick. Boom. Like we said at the beginning, let me hide that. Today's video is about finding buyers, selling buyers, and closing buyers. So any questions on that, feel free to put them down in the comments below, and I'll go through the comments once this presentation is over. So be sure to, in the comments, make the comments a detailed question. So why should you listen to Josh? Great question. First off, without God, my wife, or my team, my business would absolutely suck. It would absolutely suck. So because of God, my wife, and my team, that's the reason that I'm successful. And then everything that I've learned over the years, I just apply it to more and more bottlenecks in our business. I've personally closed over 600 deals, and I've had a part of over 1,400 transactions over the last 15 years. I've been at 4 different styles of brokerages. I've been at a small mom and pop brokerage. I've been at a large independent brokerage. I've actually had my own brokerage for 2.5 years, I believe. And then I've also been at a Realty branch brokerage. And of course, as you all know, I am here at eXp Realty now. So I have experienced all the different types of brokerages. Over the last 15 years, I've also built 2 duplexes. I've been very blessed to be able to build 2 duplexes. And I managed for a short period, maybe a little over a year, I managed 72 rental properties. And I learned real quick, property management is not my forte. That is not my forte. All the apps that they have for property management now are amazing. And I definitely recommend checking into those if you want to do some property management, because they're all automated. The tenant puts their stuff in, and then you do your stuff as the property manager, and it's all automated. Keeps it legal, keeps it easy. And look into the apps. I wouldn't recommend doing property management unless you just love fixing things. not necessarily repairs, but just fixing things that come up. And then also another reason you want to give this video a watch, give this video a learn, take some notes on it, is because if I can find buyers, if I can get buyers through the closing process, and if I can close a buyer, I absolutely know that you can too. The key thing to all sales is the customer, whether that's buyers or sellers or even other agents or your broker. Because as a servant, as being in the service industry, your customer is everybody. People already want to do what they want to do. They just need your affirmation to get them to that next level. So these are reasons why this video would be good, and a little bit of background on why I might have a little idea about what I'm talking about in this video. So let me switch over. So what buyers want when they call you. That's the key thing, because you're in the service industry. Okay, you service people, you fix people, you help them accomplish their goals. So how do you do that? You do that by knowing what they want. So most of the time when a buyer calls you, they really just want in the house. They they don't have they don't respect your time, and they don't necessarily understand the process. They really just want in the house. So what the buyers don't realize, and this is why you're the professional, this is why listing agents pay selling agents to bring buyers to the table, is because as a buyer's agent, as a selling agent, the listing agent takes care of the listing, and the buyer's agent takes care, the selling agent takes care of the buyer. So when the buyers call you, they mainly just want in the house. What they don't realize is that you, as a professional selling agent, you have the systems that are going to get them successfully through the transaction. You, as a professional selling agent, you've done this a couple times, and you do actually want to help them. You do want to help them find a home. And this whole process, this whole slide deck is what I'm getting ready to show you. And if you just follow along with me, you could take some notes, but really just follow along and get the idea, get the principles behind it. And then this presentation is going to be the very first presentation on how to handle buyers as a real estate agent, real estate training and tips playlist on the channel. So you'll be able to go through that channel and dive deep on all the points of this presentation. So let's go ahead and go to the next one. So first off, how the hell do you find buyers, right? Like, where are they? Well, the easiest way to find buyers is to have listings. The more listings you have, the more buyers are going to call you. That's just the name of the game. Right now, in today's market, there's been reports that it's slowing down a little bit, but it's been at an astronomical levels we never seen before. So for every listing, there were typically 10 to 20 to 30 different contracts on that listing. So the number one easiest way to find buyers is to have listings. Second easiest way to find buyers that I have found, and I will tell you about, is to post carousel ads, post picture ads, post video ads on social media, on your Facebook business page, share it to your personal page, and then share it to the different garage sale sites in your state. So for example, if you have a home that you listing in Oklahoma City, you'll do a video walkthrough on it. You'll do the photo shoot on it. You'll build the carousel post. You'll build the picture post, and you'll build the video post on your Facebook business page. And then you'll share that post as a person, as you as an individual. You'll switch over from business to individual, and you'll share all those posts at different times of the day to the different garage sale groups and for all the little metros around Oklahoma City, and of course inside Oklahoma City too. And then, as always, a tried and true method to get your phone to ring for buyers and potentially sellers too is to use the EXP marketplace and get built a flyer, postcard style flyer. You can do regular size postcards, which I do. I just do regular size postcards. You can upgrade for the jumbo size postcards if you want, and you could direct mail that postcard about that listing to the whole neighborhood that house is in. Now you're going to get some buyer interest on it, and you're also going to get some seller interest on that postcard. So those are 3 ways to find buyers. Another way to find a buyer is just don't be a secret agent. Don't be a secret agent on social media. Get on there when you're just killing time and you're mindlessly scrolling through social media. Scroll through it with a purpose. Go to your friends list on your cell phone. Put that A in the search bar on your friends list on your friends list on your cell phone, and then go and comment and like on different letter A friends post, and then do the B, and then do the C, and then do the D, okay, etc., etc., etc. Just comment on it. Just be social. You're not pushing real estate. You're not talking real estate. You're just being social on there. They will in turn show up higher on your feed, and you will show up higher on their feed. because social media wants to connect people that are being social. And then you guys will be able to have conversations. And over time, those conversations will come up. Hey, how's the market? Hey, how's business, et cetera, et cetera. And then just be truthful. Just have a straight conversation with them. Oh my gosh, it really depends on if you're a buyer or a seller, an investor, or whatever else there is. There's a fourth one. I can't think. Oh, rent there if you're a tenant. We don't work tenants at EXP Realty, so that's why I couldn't think of it at the time. But have that pointed conversation. They're saying, well, we're actually thinking about selling. Boom, you got a listing. What's the easiest way to get buyers? Have listings. Okay. So I hope that all makes sense. Put comments down below. I will get those answered at the end of today's video. And so that is part one, how to find buyers. Part two, buyer qualifying questions. You've got to set yourself apart. You've got to be the professional. When that buyer calls in, when the buyer starts asking you questions about buying, you've got to be professional. There's 5 main questions that you want to ask every buyer. Let me see if I put that over there. No, I didn't. Let me go back. Okay, so 5 main questions when you're talking with a buyer. Hey, I'm so excited. You want to know more about that home, and I cannot wait to tell you more about it. Let me pull it up here on my computer. And then as you're pulling it up on the computer, say, why I'm pulling this up, have you already had an opportunity to talk with a lender about the different loan types out there? And just be quiet. Just be quiet. And then they'll be like, yes or no. And if they say yes, great. That is so exciting, especially with interest rates rising like they are right now. Did they mention being able to lock your rate in, 60 to 90 days out, so you don't miss out on today's great interest rate? And then that's when the buyer's really going to be truthful with you. That's when they're really going to say, hey, actually, I haven't talked to them about that yet. That's a good thing to do. Or they're going to be like, well, we haven't actually even talked to a lender. Even though they said yes before, they've been taught since they were in grade school, danger stranger, danger stranger. And as a salesperson, you're a stranger to them. So you're just warming up. You're building that relationship. You don't get down and propose to a buyer to marry you the first time you talk to them on the phone. You build that relationship over time. Another great qualifying question is, okay, perfect. I'm so excited that you've spoken with a lender and you've discussed rates and payments. That's super exciting. You're well above the crowd of today's other buyers that I speak with on a daily basis. Do you know when you want to purchase? Are you thinking about moving into your new home in 30 days, or are you thinking about moving into your new home in 60 to 90 days? You're just asking them questions where you're pulling up the information. They'll give you the answer to that. And it's a nice, smooth question and answer discussion. I'm not breaking up and explaining the theory to the buyer like I am you. I'm just asking these questions. And then you're like, okay, perfect. I've got that house pulled up. What's a good time to take a look at it? And then they're going to tell you, and you're going to say, okay, great. That either works or doesn't work. You're going to be truthful with them. If you run a team, you'll want to be sure to let them know you got to check with your teammates to see when they can get over there to get them in the house. And then you say, what is that lender's name and number? I need to get a copy of the pre-approval letter. The seller wants to ensure just pre-approved buyers are getting in the home. I'm sure you can understand. And then they're going to give you their name and number, or they're going to pause and they're not going to give you their name and number. And if they pause or say they don't want to do that or anything like that, you say, hey, I understand. You're going to say, oh, you're not interested in letting me have their name and number? Well, I could have a lender that other customers have done business with in the past give you a call, and in 5 minutes be able to get that pre-approval letter for you and the seller. That way we'll be able to get you in that home. And then they're either going to let you have your lender give them a call and pre-approve them, or they're just going to say, no one else makes me do that. I'm not going to do that. I just want to see the home. And if they go hardcore on you like that, you say, a lot of agents, as with any industry, do not help out buyers successfully all the way to closing like my team and I do. We're absolutely here to help you purchase this home or another home if this one doesn't fit your need. The first step is the pre-approval letter, and the seller only wants qualified buyers in the home. So I can have the lender give you a call and they can get you pre-approved. It only takes about 5 minutes. Or if I could just get your current lender's name and number, I'll reach out to them, get a copy of the pre-approval letter you said that you already have, and then we'll be able to get that scheduled for you. Which option's best? And then if they're a real buyer, there's not going to be any hesitation. If they're a real buyer, it's just going to work out. If there's lots of hesitation, they may not be a real buyer. They may not be pre-qualified. And you guys, you've got to be very, very conscious of your time. You want to help as many people as possible, but you've got to be conscious of your time. You got to work buyers correctly. You got to work them systematically, especially in today's age. There's tons of people getting SH space T on TV. There's lots of people getting KID space napped on TV and bad things happening to them. You have to be careful of your time and you have to be careful of your safety. So make sure you're only showing pre-qualified buyers. So those are questions that will set you apart from other agents, because you don't just want to jump in the car, run over there, meet that buyer right away. If it's a mile away, that's a little different. You can have the pre-qualification question after you look at the house. But at the same time, too, you want to be very, very safe. You want to be very, very safe. You don't want to just show the house to random strangers and not be safe. So those are qualifying questions that will set you apart. Buyer value proposition. So after you meet them the first time, you're going to hit them with the buyer value proposition. You're going to let them know, hey, I'm super excited. We got a chance to look at that house. I'm going to send you over an estimated cost sheet based off of the loan type that you told me you're pre-approved for and your lender said you're pre-approved for. Now, don't forget, the lender numbers are going to be exact. I'm a real estate agent. I'm giving you what's called an estimated cost to buyer sheet. Okay. So you want to verify with the lender the cost. I'm going to give you an estimated cost. That way you know exactly what you're going to need to bring to closing. And I'm going to get you the disclosures on this house so that we can look at that. And then we'll be able to know exactly where we're going to make our offer at. Does that sound fair? And they're going to be like, yeah, that sounds fair. So always add value. Always get them what they need. Always push them to that next step. So if you looked at the house, they want to make an offer, I'm going to get you the estimated cost sheet. I'm going to get you disclosures. We'll go over it. We'll put the offer together and we'll get that over to the other agent. Does that sound great? They'll be like, yes, that sounds great. Perfect. Or if that house didn't work out for them, the value proposition is, hey, so this one isn't really exactly what you're looking for, is what you're telling me. I totally get that. I'm going to get you an estimated cost sheet emailed over this evening so you can see exactly what your costs are going to be. And then I'm also going to set you up a search for homes similar to this that you might find attractive and want to go ahead and purchase and move into. Does that sound great? And they're going to be like, yes, that sounds great. They're like, great. And then you'll get their email. You put all that together. So that's how you do the value proposition. Any questions? Put them down in the comments below. Game time. Okay. So you put all this stuff together and it's time to accomplish the buyer's goals. So the consultation's done. You've gone over the financing. Now you're going to get the buyer in the property drip, and you're going to start following up with them on Mondays and Thursdays. Okay. So you've done the initial call. You've done the initial consultation at the property when you viewed it. And now it's time to really start working that buyer. Either they want to buy that house, or if they don't want to buy that house, you're going to get them in the property drip and you're going to start checking in with them Mondays and Thursdays. So do not let that buyer go. You have to check in with them as a salesperson. So follow up on the loan times and set up the auto search. That's what I just said. Okay, so follow up on the loan type, set up the auto search. That way you can get them the estimated cost to buyer. Showings and contracts. Showings are easy. So in today's market, there's not a ton of inventory like we've had historically. So you might be looking at 5 or 10 homes at the most. So in your MLS, you'll be able to type in their criteria, hit search, set them up on an auto email, go back to that search, because you can go back to the searches that you created, and then pick out 5 or 10 really good houses. If you have 10, that surprises me. It's probably going to be more along 5 at the time of this video. It's going to be more along 5 houses. So schedule them, find out when they can look at them. Always show houses in the light, never show houses in the dark. And on your MLS, there's going to be a select all feature and then a direction feature. Click the select all, click the direction button, and then map out the houses. I like to map out the houses where the last house I show is the closest to my house. That way my commute home isn't that far, unless it's a morning showing, and then I might schedule it the last house closest to where I want to do a couple videos after the showings if they don't want to write an offer, or near my office so that I have good internet, stuff like that. So showings and contracts. Put any questions down below on that. Contracts. Okay, so contracts are really easy. Don't call them contracts when you're talking to the customer. This should be called paperwork. I will get that updated for the presentations later on. Showings and paperwork. Okay, so you showed houses. They fell in love with one. You want to get them the paperwork ASAP. If you've got to pull over at an On-Q, a 7-Eleven, a Quick Trip, or somewhere, and do the paperwork in your car because you're too far from an office or something like that, do it. When that buyer has the buying signs, the way you check them out is you send over the paperwork and get them to sign it. So say, great, I'm super excited. And then that's if you do your paperwork yourself. I completely forgot. If you have a transaction coordinator, you call your transaction coordinator and tell him or her what the offer needs to be. Give him or her the person's exact spelling of their name and their email addresses of all the parties buying the property, and then have the transaction coordinator start putting that paperwork together ASAP, especially if you got another appointment that you got to go to, another buyer that you're helping, or a seller that you're going to go talk about listing their house on. Get in touch with your transaction coordinator ASAP, get that paperwork over to the buyer ASAP. And so showings and paperwork, that is that slide. Let me go over to the next one. And like I said before, more detailed videos on each one of these steps is in this playlist down below, and it's titled what that video is over. So just scroll down there and look at those videos. So boom, paperwork's done and you won the offer. That's awesome. Congratulations for your buyer and for yourself as a salesperson, because you get paid at closing as a commission-based salesperson. So congratulations on finding a buyer, getting the buyer under contract, and now starting the inspections, the financing, and the title work. So when you're working a buyer, the three next big steps after you find a home and contract a home are the inspections, the financing, and the title work. Inspections, ask the buyer, hey, sir or ma'am, do you have a home inspector that has helped your family or friends in the past that you'd like me to reach out to and get the inspections set up for you? They'll say yes or no. If they say no, say, well, here's a list of other inspectors that other customers have been happy with in the past. Would you like to call them and interview them? Or is there a time that you want me to call them and see who's available on the exact time, on the exact date that you're available to get the home inspection done? And give them that choice. They'll make that choice, and then you work off of that choice. So while you're doing the inspections, the home and termite, typically, if you're in rural Oklahoma, you're also going to do well and septic on top of that. The financing part is starting. You're going to say, great, I've also sent the contract over to your lender. Please reach out to your lender and go over the good faith documents, the disclosures. Go over the disclosures and the good faith, something that has the numbers on it, similar to estimated cost to buyer. It's called something good faith. But you're going to have them reach out to the lender, get the disclosure signed, so that 3 days after the disclosures are signed, the lender can send out the appraisal, because you need to get the inspections and the appraisal done at the same time the seller's getting the title work done. Once the title work comes in, you give the title report to the buyer and you say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, this title report, this is your insurance policy on the title to the home. Everything that's covered are things that the title policy protects you on, and everything that's excluded are things that the title company's insurance policy does not protect you on. So definitely look at the exclusions and let me know if there's anything on these exclusions that you want the title company to give you more information on in detail. And if you can't get a hold of me, here's the title company's information so you can call them directly. They work for you. Okay, you're buying the insurance policy from the title company. So give the buyers information throughout the process and basically just follow the Oklahoma real estate purchase contract and whatever purchase contract you're in, because it usually walks you and the buyers through every step along the way. And like I said before, there's a video down below in the playlist that goes over this in way more detail, so you can take the time to watch that. This is a macro view of the buyer process. So once the inspections are done, once the appraisal is done, if there's any repairs or conditions on any repairs that weren't expected, especially in today's market. If you're watching this video a year or two later, it may be a little different, but in today's market, at the time of this video, buyers don't really get any repairs done by sellers because there's a lack of inventory. And then if there's a loan condition, some buyers are actually having to fix those loan conditions themselves just to be able to get the loan, because the seller just says, no, I'm not going to do that. If you want that loan, that's your appraiser, you get that loan condition taken care of. So repairs, always prep a buyer, always prep a buyer for their appraisal, always prep a buyer for the repairs. Say, hey, in today's market, sometimes the houses don't appraise for the sales price because of the high demand. So you want to make sure they have the funds available. And you did that back on the contract phase. And then you also do that now once the inspections are done and you're waiting for the appraisal. And then the repairs, you also prep them too. Hey, if you turn in this form in Oklahoma, if you turn in the TRR form, there's a chance the seller doesn't sign it and the contract's null and void, and the seller can go sell the house to someone else. So if there's anything on this inspection sheet that you just absolutely cannot live without, then we need to bring that to the seller's attention. But if these are all things that you could fix on your own later, then by all means, you do not want to turn in a TRR, because if for some whatever reason the seller got a better offer after they already contracted with you, they're just itching for a way to get out of the contract with you. So if that doesn't make sense, there's a video down below that is a lot more informative on that process. And then also put it in the comments too if that doesn't make sense, and I'd be happy to go over that with you. So final clean and closing. As a buyer's agent, when it comes to the final clean and closing, try to get over there 30 minutes before the actual final walkthrough, because you did the repair walkthrough. That's done and over with if there was any. But 30 minutes before the repair walkthrough, show up with your broom and your electric vacuum. I just use an electric vacuum nowadays. I don't use a broom anymore, but it's an electric wireless vacuum that easily fits in the back of my car, because 50% of the time I'm vacuuming houses right before the final walkthrough, because you're in sales and you don't want the buyer to be disheartened. You don't want the buyer to be a little upset that the seller moved and then there was like dust bunnies everywhere, or it looks like a vacant house where someone just moved out of. A lot of times when sellers move out of houses, the movers pack everything up and the sellers don't have cleaning equipment anymore. They weren't thinking about cleaning equipment. They were thinking about getting everything out before closing, because in Oklahoma, it's a closing, possession, and funding, or closing, funding, and possession state. We close and fund, and then the buyer immediately possesses. So sellers a lot of times don't have time to do a final clean. They don't think about it. They're rushing just to get out of the house. So you, as a professional real estate salesperson who's helping buyers buy houses, when you go to that final walkthrough, show up 30 minutes early and vacuum the house. Take some wet wipes and wipe down the countertops if you have to. Okay, you're getting ready to get a fat check. Just spend a little bit of time and clean the house up if you have to. Don't be bitter. Don't be angry about it. Don't post negative things about it. Just be a salesperson, suck it up, do it, get your big check, be thankful for the business, be thankful to help the buyer and build that relationship. Every transaction you do, there's 5 more transactions down the line, just like Ricky Cruz says. You be a salesperson, you be excited, you be happy for that buyer all the time and help them get through that process. If you got to vacuum the floor for a little bit or wipe down some countertops, suck it up and do it. Suck it up and do it. Don't complain about it. So go to closing, be excited, introduce the buyer to the closing agent, introduce the buyer to the front desk lady, and ask the buyer if they'd like some coffee or treats. All title companies have coffees and treats in the lobby. Have them sit down. Be excited throughout the closing. Just verify the numbers are right on the settlement statement. Answer any questions as they come up when they close. Go back out to the lobby. Introduce everybody. Trade keys. Have some fun banter, and then that's it. Walk them out of the title company. Tell them you're so thankful for their business. You'll be sending them a review request. And if it's 1 star you've earned or 5 stars you've earned, you're thankful for whatever review you get. And then let them know you're going to be in touch. And go back into the title company. Thank the title ladies for the closing. Thank them. Be the professional. Let them know you can't wait to do another deal together. And then that's it, guys. You finished. But that's not it. Okay. Let me close out the presentation. So it's that simple. That's finding buyers, working buyers, closing buyers. It's really that simple. In less than 30 minutes, we went over the whole process. And then down below is a playlist that is going deep on each one of these slides. So be sure to schedule time to watch those down below and put comments down below too if you have any comments. So buyer has a need. They want to buy a house. Fulfill it. Ask the right questions, do the right actions, and close the transaction. It's really that simple. Buyer has a need. You want to fulfill it. Ask the right questions, do the right actions, close the transaction. That's all you got to do. Next slide. Serious questions I want to ask you about your current real estate business. And these are a little deep, so I'll just go through them quick. And then these are serious questions you want to ask about your current real estate business. Where you're currently at, do you have the support that you feel you need? If you make a phone call to the office, do you have someone that's going to answer you right away? If not, you definitely want to check out eXp Realty. They have over 600 staff members helping agents get through transactions and processes every day. You can go into eXp World at any time, talk to your state brokers, talk to your state contract specialists, et cetera, et cetera. There's people there to help you 24/7, basically. Is the current brokerage that you're at a brokerage that's all about your business or all about the brokerage business? That's another question you got to ask about your current brokerage. Are they there for you as an agent, or are they there for the brokerage. eXp Realty is owned by Glenn Stanford. He owns 70% of the company, according to the last podcast that I watched, and he is all about the agents. If you have any questions about Glenn Stanford, just put his name into YouTube. Glenn Stanford, owner of eXp Realty. Watch a couple of his podcasts, and it's going to be absolutely mind-blowing how amazing this man is out to help the agents. Also, at your current brokerage, when you ask a broker question, does the broker answer you right away? Typically, in most eXp offices, you have more than just 2 brokers out there to help you and get your questions answered. So like for example, if I ever have a broker question, I simply jump on Workplace Chat and I ask a question to all 2 of my brokers, get ready to be 3 of my brokers, what that question is, and they get back to me pretty quickly. So I can get any broker question answered pretty quickly over eXp Realty. And I'd love to get you a guest pass. We could jump into eXp World and I can show you how quickly you can get your broker style questions answered too at your state. So do you have back office support? Like I talked about at the very, very beginning, do you have back office support? I've been at other brokerages, guys. I've been at a small mom and pop brokerage. I've been at a large independent brokerage. I've had my own brokerage, and I've been at a Realty branch. I understand how important back office support is. When I go into eXp Realty and I have an accounting question, I have an onboarding question, I have an agent tech support question, I just go to those departments in eXp World, and someone has always been there except once. The other day I went in and someone was not there, and that was an accounting question, but I easily just followed up with the accounting email, got it answered right away. So do you have immediate access to get your business side of things answered, your accounting questions answered, your tech support questions answered, your agent concierge questions answered? Do you have that at current brokerage? If not, you definitely want to chat with me about eXp Realty. And then does your brokerage provide you a clear path to retirement? Does your brokerage give you a clear path to retirement? Or like everywhere else, are you just selling real estate till you die? Guys, I don't want you to sell real estate till you die. I really don't. I want you to be able to have different sources of income besides just doing a commission sales and getting a commission check. eXp Realty has 3 different sources of income. They have the commission check way, they have revenue share way, and they have equity options ways. They have 3 different ways for you to make lifetime wealth at eXp Realty. And that's what you're looking for. You don't want to sell real estate till you die. You don't. And then is your cap constantly changing? Is 1 year your cap X and then 1 year your cap Y? Is 1 year your production requirements X and then 1 year your production requirements Y? Are things constantly getting changed up on you at the current brokerage you're at and you're just tired of it? You got to give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. eXp Realty has one set of splits, one set of caps for everyone at the different levels that you're at. No one has a special favored cap. No one has a special favored split. It's very straightforward. It's very upfront. This is what it is. This is what you do. And it is amazing. I love being on the same level playing field as everyone else and not feeling like some other agents are getting preferential treatment more than I am at my old brokerages. It's the same split, same caps for everybody. And then here's the big question that I always ask people is, if you're the big fish in the small pond, are you going to grow? And I think I heard that either on Bent Grove's podcast or Joshua Smith's podcast. But if you're the big fish in a small pond, do you think you're going to get better? Do you think you're going to make your systems better? Look, guys, I thought I was a good producer. I thought I was an awesome producer. Came over to eXp Realty and I realized there is so much more out there for me to learn. There's so much more out there for me to get better at. There's so many more systems that I can hone and get better at. So guys, if you've reached the point at your brokerage where you're not necessarily happy anymore and you are looking at other options, I definitely want you to give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. I want to chat with you about eXp Realty and what it has to offer for your business. Worst case scenario, you realize that maybe eXp Realty isn't the right fit for you. But when we're growing at the rate that we're growing and we're a cloud-based brokerage that is agent-centered, it's going to be pretty hard-pressed for people not to want to join eXp Realty with everything they have to offer. And I would love to show that to you. So if you're ready to make that move and you've watched enough of my videos and you're ready to get started, feel free to go to my website, joshbarnett.exprealty.careers. And then up at the top right, click on the ICA application, fill that out. eXp Realty will let me know that you started filling that out, and I'll reach out to you and we'll get together and we'll start finishing your onboarding. If you're a broker owner or a team leader, call me. text me or email me first. We need to get with onboarding and fill out your ICA. Not your ICA, your letter of intent. We need to fill out your letter of intent so they can start helping you transition your brokerage or team over to eXp Realty. And basically, we move your brokerage agents over first, we move your team agents over first, and then we move you over. And of course, you're the sponsor of everyone that you bring over before you came over. You're the sponsor of your team. You're the sponsor of your brokerage. So you've got your team, you got your brokerage inside eXp Realty. So that's it, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed today's video on how to find, how to work, and how to close buyers. How to find, how to work, and how to close buyers. If you happen to be in Norman, Oklahoma on June 8th, if you happen to be in and around Norman, Oklahoma on June 8th, I want you to register. I'll put the link down below. I want you to register and come to my real estate sales training course. It's free. It's open to the public. Anyone can come. If you ever thought about real estate, come. We're going to go over listings. We're going to go over buyers. We're going to go over how to work your email for real estate. And we're going to go over how to do YouTube correctly to get buyers and sellers. So guys, that's it. That's today's presentation. Thank you so much. As always, any questions about eXp Realty, call, text, or email me. And let me check to see if we had any comments during today's live presentation. No comments during today's live presentation. So I'll go ahead and put a thank you to everyone that watched. See you on the next video. And that will pop up everywhere. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.